Jeffrey Clark, come up here and have a seat. So you're gonna be taking over the bar?
Correct.
Okay. And, what was it called last time?
Jackrabbit Slums.
Celeste. So, done anything like this before?
I own a bar right now, currently in Cudahy.
Okay. So you're familiar with all the state rules and regulations?
Yes.
Pretty much all the same as ours. So, does anybody else have anything?
Mr. Chair.
All in writing?
So I'm reading your plan of operation, and I see you're talking about essentially just, I think it literally says 99% beverage.
Well, all the kitchen equipment was taken out when Jackrabbit Slums left. So as soon as I get more funds coming in, I want to do the kitchen.
Oh, okay. Because that was as the alderman of the district, it was very concerning to me that, I mean, we see some of these smaller locations that might get away with running a business without actually doing any kind of food service.
Correct.
But a building that size, I was concerned that it would, and remind me, are you playing for live music also?
We do some bands and stuff like that. So like when I was filling that stuff out, the reception lady, the secretary that helped me fill it out, she asked about the kitchen stuff, and I told her there's nothing in there right now. So she goes, well, don't apply for your food license, just put tavern. So that's why it just says tavern on there. Because she goes, otherwise they're going to want to come in and start inspecting all the equipment. And if you don't have it.
Well, you're going to have some sort of food license.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the basic, not the moderate or
Right.
whatever.
Like in
Yeah.
Cudahy, they call it like anything prepackaged,
Yeah.
pre-cooked, anything like that. So like down there, we do like the wonton mozzarella sticks, the chicken finger or chicken tenders,
So you
chicken
have a deep
wings.
fryer, a hood.
I don't have that down there. I
Oh.
do everything prepackaged or pre-cooked. I have a
okay.
turbo chef and a
Turbo
pizza
chef,
oven.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
But there is a suppression system in this building.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they left.
Yeah.
So I'm in the midst of getting all the stuff.
So your vision is get it open, run it as a bar, and expand the kitchen as that becomes available
Yes.
to you as
I-
the cash flows there.
I have 2 pizza ovens that I'm going to be picking up and stuff like that, the bigger ones.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's all in the works. So I called some friends, and they got some stuff there that all works that they're not using.
Okay.
So hopefully I'm going to get everything pulled together.
So prepackaged pizzas for now, like
Yes.
meals or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I saw that 99%. It kind of scared me.
Right.
You have an apartment right to the east, or excuse me, to the north. And it's kind of a commercial strip up there on National Avenue. They're tearing the street up in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay. Want to make sure that it comes as a surprise to you. There will be an occasion, and this is probably, I don't think anybody else has applications in here tonight. The police will run sting operations. Come
Compliance checks.
Compliance, jeez.
in. What's the difference?
Compliance check.
Is there a reason I shouldn't say? Oh, that's the city attorney. Is there a reason I shouldn't say sting operation?
You call it whatever you want.
Oh, there we go. He opined on it.
They do the same down by us.
I just, and we expect you and your staff to be partners with us. Are you going to have, say, a drinking policy for your employees, like no drinking, or do you have some sort of policy on that? Or?
Well, even down by us, it's minimum. Because, like, with the dice. But otherwise, typically, we have a bottle that's theirs, and then it just looks like booze,
Don't tell
but it's
anybody
not.
that.
Right.
This is being recorded. You're on television. Just so you know. So, now your employees are going to tell you, no, not that bottle.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah. So, and we want you to be a partner with us. Problem. We want you to call.
Right.
My biggest complaint is when somebody shows up at the police station or the hospital, says I was at such and such a location and I got hit in the face by a beer glass and the bartender never called, or when the police come and the bartender says, "Oh, I didn't see anything." So we want you to be partners with us.
No, we are. And even, like, down by us, it's all the bartenders are responsible for whatever happens. Down there, we have 8 security cameras. Honestly, half the time the police come by us and they check our cameras for anything that happens around us, because it hits all the streets between us and Laddish. So
I think you had a kind of a skimpy application as far as, so you're not going to have the security. You're not going to run the kind of place where you need a doorman.
I'm hoping not.
Okay.
I'm not looking for that kind of crowd.
Good. Yeah.
I don't run that down by, down there. I've been open 3 years and we never had issues.
I spoke to some people in the business down there that did speak well of you.
So I mean, we actually I bought the bar, and then shortly after I bought the lot next to that, and then we put 2 volleyball courts in also. So I mean, we just keep expanding down there and trying to get more stuff involved and get the city involved, and
Anybody else have anything? Do I have a motion?
Move approval,
Second.
subject to necessary requirements, obviously.
So is there something I necessarily have to do for the food stuff, or is that?
Well, as your menu evolves,
Mhm.
you know, and I would reach out to the health department, the health commissioners right back there, Sally, tell them, I mean, I assume that you've gone through some sort of process that this is what we're gonna have, cause you have to have a food license anyways for the soda and the ice machine and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. But then you say, it's like when you add a deep fryer, or you start doing more prep work, even something like ham and rolls for Packer games, that's
Okay.
not prepackaged anymore.
Right.
Okay, you know, just so you understand all that, and our health department staff can help you with all that, so.
Yeah, because we don't do that down by us.
Yeah, but a lot of people, you know,
I don't know.
yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Opening date,
Thank you.
Looking for early part of January if all goes well.
okay, good
All
luck,
my inspections are on the 26th.
okay, good luck.
So, thank you.
Okay, item number 34. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Subject to necessary requirements.
Sure.
Second? Do I have a second?
Alderman wrote seconded it already.
Wait, did we? Sorry, in here. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 35, new agent at Aldi.
Move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, and Mr. Chair,
Yes.
for items 36 to 44, I move we place them on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have item number 51 then. This is findings, recommendations, matter of noise variance at Mortar Castings.
And I move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 52.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I'll call Administration and Finance to order. All 5 members are present, starting with item number 7, a resolution to adopt the City of West Allis core values and core competencies. Ms. Grill.
Mr. Chair. Rebecca Grill, City Administrator. I had been before the committee earlier this year talking about putting together core values and core competencies for our pay for performance and performance review system. I've met with various different groups, the department heads, the clerical task force. I've met with the Police and Fire Commission, and I was at the library board this last week to discuss this. And there's been little, if any, feedback regarding this, so.
Move approval.
I have a motion from Alderman May. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Rote. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 8, kind of the same, oh no, that's a different thing, I'm sorry. A resolution relative to renewal of the agreement of the Village of West Milwaukee for public health services.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman May and a second from Alderman Chapleski. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Alderman Chapleski.
Everything going fine, Sally? No problems over there?
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 9, resolution to working with West Milwaukee for IT.
Move approval.
A motion from Alderman May. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Rote. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And then item 10, resolution accepting proposal of Kelly Communications for furnishing, delivering category 6 communication wiring for $32,393.31.
Move approval.
I have a
Second.
motion from Alderman May and a second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 11, the resolution relative to renewal of the agreement with Wisconsin Community Services
Move
for the West
approval.
Dallas. Thank you, sir.
I'll
So
second.
motion from Alderman Weigel, second from Alderman May. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Roach.
how many people use that?
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah. Good answer.
I think we'll have a report coming before the committee. I wanna say 6 or 8, but I don't remember for sure. It is utilized on a minimal basis.
And I think significantly we pay by the occurrence. It's not a flat
Correct, I
rate
saw-
or
saw
anything.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
I can send you the report as a
Yeah, I'd like to see
follow-up.
it.
Mhm.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And item 12, resolution adopting policy number 1111, the monthly employee recognition program. Hey, Rebecca, can you tell us? You told us a little bit about it at our
Sure.
last meeting.
This is something we had talked about at the Administration and Finance Committee last week. We had brought it before the committee at that time because we wanted to initiate it starting in January. I had some input from the committee members. It's based on the core values that you just recently approved. And people would be nominated on a monthly basis for demonstrating one of the core values. And at the end of the year, we would choose 3 employees of the years from those nominations. We left some of the things pretty general. I did not put the amounts in there. I didn't want, if there was some type of budget issue from year to year, I didn't want to have to change a policy. So I thought it was better to have that flexibility, as well as we didn't outline that there was going to be one person at Public Works, one person at the police department. It's going to be a more fluid thing, and the mayor and I will work together to select the winners and as well as provide the awards to the winners. I did have some feedback from the health commissioner. I don't know if she has anything that did you
No,
have?
as I mentioned in the email, it was more formatting issues,
Yeah.
there's needing some clarification on some
Yeah.
of the stuff.
Okay. Any discussion? Can I have a motion?
Move for approval, Mr. Chair.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 13. Resolution regarding vehicle equipment operation, driving policy, and mileage reimbursement.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Ms. Grill.
This is before you today on the basis of it actually being put into place and people trying to comply with the reporting requirements and things like that. So Ed Lisinski from the building inspection had requested we do some updates to make things easier and flow better for the employees as far as the reporting. So those are the changes that are included today. It's not really any policy type changes. I know there's some still some consternation regarding the insurance limits that are required and the elimination of the monthly vehicle reimbursement. But that was not addressed. Didn't change anything in that here.
Alderman May.
Should we address that in here? So, I was one of the people who said we shouldn't be providing that stipend. It seemed like a waste. Well, I didn't realize that it was a difference in the insurance requirement. If you're supposed to use your own vehicle, you just have to have a higher limit than state law requires. Should we have that debate now? Can we?
Sure, I'll look at
No.
stuff.
Yeah, the policy is on the agenda.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, we can talk about it.
Discussion,
It would, why do we require additional insurance if an employee uses their own vehicle? So, for example, if you're at the library or the health department, or you don't have access to one of our pool vehicles.
So we require higher levels than what's required. That's That's what we're requiring. I'm not sure what the initial reasoning was for having.
I would assume that the
Uh,
state minimums are so low
It's-
that
yeah, it's
there's
like-
much greater exposure. 25,000, I think, is the minimum.
Yeah, it's very minimal. The city policy has always been, since I've been here, and I don't know how far back it goes, that says that in an accident involving a city employee using their own vehicle, they will have to pay first and then the city. No one's ever challenged that, and I won't render an opinion on it here as to the validity of that,
Of course.
but that's what our policy says. And as part of that, we require these higher premium levels that you have to protect the city. So the employee is paying that over and above what state law requires, because our policy says that if there's an accident, it's gotta go to your insurance first, and only then will the city, insurance kick in. So that's just always been there before I started. The only time anybody questioned it was when Sally's department is always the problem.
Wow.
One
He
of
asked
the,
a lot of questions.
well, one of our people was involved in an accident. They were driving, like student volunteers or something somewhere, got in an accident, and of course then there was a claim, and she had to submit that to her insurance company, as opposed to the city, kind of a thing. That's the only time I'm really aware of we've had anything like that in the 30 years that I've been here, but it's there, and certainly the potential is there for a claim.
So with that, I think the question that had come up from those who had contacted me was why not then pay the differential? And I know previously I said let's get rid of that stipend, but now understanding that that's paying for that differential in the insurance, why don't we either get rid of the insurance requirement, it's only happened once in 30 years, or why don't we pay a stipend to make up the difference? And if that's too much for tonight,
I don't
On the
know what
spot.
the difference
Yeah.
would be.
Right, it could depend on, we're gonna start figuring out what everybody's paying for their insurance, cause some people
No.
might be already buying the buying more than the minimum.
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
people have more than
Yeah,
10.
I have more than
Yeah.
of course. But I'm just saying in general, I think that's where
that's
that's
what
where
it's.
some of the heartburn came in. So
If I could, Mr. Chair. I don't
Sure.
think you'll ever be able to figure out what the actual difference is. I think you have a couple of choices. One, eliminate the requirement that the employee have anything above the state minimum, or put back in a set fixed amount and just, leave it at that, because it's just gonna be a guesstimate. Those are I think the only two real options you have. You're not gonna be able to figure it out.
right. And so should we hold this and bring it back, or do we want to approve this one and come back with a revision?
I would think that what Scott suggested, the first item, if you just wanna change it to be the same as whatever the state insurance requirements, we could certainly put that in as amended.
Yeah, just change it to the state minimum, not requiring anyone to have more than the state minimum.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
So then it would be 8.03 that we'd be changing to that part, so we have to,
Yeah, I'll take a motion to amend.
Motion to amend to eliminate the additional requirements of insurance.
And is there a second?
Second.
And there's a motion and a second. Any discussion on the amendment?
What does the city attorney? I mean, you said it was an option. Do you have an opinion on that? Your opinion is no, don't do it.
No, that's not my opinion. My opinion is that, like I said, we've had one claim in the 30 years that I've been here. And the difference in the state minimums versus this, from the city standpoint, where on an auto accident, we face a maximum $250,000 liability, is not particularly significant.
And so we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye on the amendment.
Aye.
All right, the amendment passes.
And then, Mr. Chair, before
Yes.
you act on the thing, 8:10, I have a bone to pick with that one.
Uh-oh.
Which one's 810?
Employees who use their personal vehicles to conduct city business will be provided with a magnetic decal windows or something to put on their car. I'm not putting a decal or something on my car when I drive down to the courthouse or drive to the police station or, this needs to be limited to like inspectors that are going out and about on official city business, not when Rebecca and I jump into the car and drive to the police station to see the chief. I think it needs to
Maybe
be.
I can weigh in. Was it the idea that we can provide it, not that it's required?
Correct, yeah. I think, in talking to my staff, you know, and with other, safety concerns and whatnot, some of them want it just to identify themselves, some of them don't want it so that they're not identified basically, and they're worried about scratching the car and stuff like that. So I think the intention of that is that we would at least provide something to them if they wanna use it.
Yeah, and the wording is will be provided, not employees shall use a magnetic decal.
So
It's will
maybe-
be
You're
You're
provided.
gonna,
So-
no, this is mandatory. You're gonna provide all the employees with this. Anybody who uses their car on city
You
business.
say maybe.
Why are you giving me a decal and a placard I'm
Upon
never gonna
request.
use?
They could put it on the inside of the trunk.
Yeah, that'd be great.
May be provided upon request.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe we should hold this whole thing now. I think, or- No?
That's-
No.
It's a minor little
As long as
change.
we don't
All right,
require
all
them,
right.
I mean,
all right,
Right.
very good, very good,
On request.
very good. So we're gonna add upon request, or
you need
something to
need
that.
an amendment? Move that we add upon request.
We have amendment number 2 and a second, motion and a second on amendment number 2. And is there any discussion on that amendment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, now moving on to the entire item 13 as amended twice. First off, can I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion from Alderman Weigel and a second.
Sure.
Second from Alderman May, who gave an enthusiastic sure.
I think we already have an emotion.
Yeah.
I think that
And any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, and then item 14, a communication from the city administrator regarding the resignation of Monica Schultz. Sorry, Monica.
Move denial.
To deny.
Move approval.
I'd like
Well, we
to
have to
change
place
the
it on
date.
file, I think.
Or
Yeah.
place on file.
Can we amend the
Yep.
date?
And then, yeah.
If looks could kill.
We have a motion from Alderman May to place on file. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Rote. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. And then item 15, communication to fill the upcoming vacant position of city clerk. Ms. Grill, you want to tell us about that?
So this is a request to fill the position. Obviously, this is a critical position to city government regarding our legislative process and elections, most notably. So I'm just coming before you to ask to,
And records, I'd throw records in there
Yes.
as well.
yes, to move forward with the recruitment. Jane's all ready to get it out tomorrow. So-
Excellent. All right, can I have a motion?
Move approval.
I have a motion from Alderman May. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Rote. Nope, Weigel. Sorry, Marty. And any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 16.
For approval.
Do you want to approve it or place on a
Place on
file?
file.
Just place on file.
Thank you.
Second.
I'll do that then.
A motion from Alderman Chaplesky, second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And then can I have a motion on items 17 and 18? 17 to place on file, 18 to place on file.
So moved.
Motion from Alderman May. Is there a second? Second from Alderman Chaplesky. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Discussion